Don't give me that smart alecky shit.
Here you go. Did they hear that?
No, do it again. I heard the sound drop, but not you.
How many times did I hear that from my dad growing up? Don't give me any smart aleck shit. Ping, pang, pong. How are you, folks? Welcome to the show. It's Patriots Day in Boston. I don't know if that's is it a national holiday, Patriots? I don't know. I'm serious.
I don't think so.
They only celebrate. I guess it's a Boston thing. Red Sox are playing right now, by the way. Started at 11, actually. So I know you guys are thrilled out there. They're from the rest of the country. Get on with your fucking shit. Don't know what to make of them. They look like world beaters. And then they're struggling with the Chicago White Sox, literally the worst team in baseball. And I was telling Dallas, a kid from my hometown of Danvers, Mass, pitched on Saturday, 6'4", 240. I think his name is Nate Smith. I was talking to my buddy Tony, whose son played with him on an AAU team. And this kid, he had a no-hitter going into the fourth or fifth against the Sox. Like we said, they'll put up 11 runs one day, and then they're like retarded girls. This kid was throwing heat. He drilled a couple people. Oh, God. Anyways, it was nothing you care about. Hockey, please. I go through this every year since I started this podcast. And what was it, 1967? Me and Jack Parr were twins, a team. Please, if you guys, please, I'm begging you. Please, if you haven't watched NHL playoff hockey in your life, please do. It's the biggest difference between regular season. It's like a different sport, like somebody said. The hitting and the spectator-wise, it's the best. I'm a football. You guys have heard me say this a million times. Football's my thing. I love college, NFL, any girls, lesbian football. That's the best. But there's nothing like NHL hockey. These white boys take this shit as serious. And the hitting, they couldn't do this during the regular season. You wouldn't. But I'm talking hits like you'd see in the NFL, like a guy going over the middle and getting his head taken off. I didn't want to bore you last night. There were like 3 of those in 5 minutes. And I started to film it, and I go, fuck it. It's probably playing with a kid. I'm playing with myself over here. Guys, just give it a shot. Joe List had a great quote. He goes, I don't understand, if you're a sports fan, how you couldn't think that this is like, spectator-wise, the greatest sport. They go 5 minutes without a whistle. I mean, drilling each other, cross-checks to the face sometimes. Fucking, I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up playing that shit. I'm from Boston. You know how it is. You grew up in Nairobi. I don't think you give a fuck. That's about it. Easter, I ate, I'd say we had a 10-pound ham for me and the wife. I said, come back with something smaller than the garage, will you? Fucking 10 pounds. Had 4 guys carrying it in from FedEx. And holy fucking, I ate about 7 pounds of that. And then I said, Jesus has risen, so has my blood pressure. Fucking sodium up the ass. I looked like Jerry Lewis on Pregnant Zone when I woke up. Anyways, the Father, the Son, and the Pope died. I personally don't give a rat's ass. I'm not the most religious guy. I want to be. I don't make fun of people who are religious, but he was a lefty, so no big deal. Let's get a real right-winger in there. Some guy, he wants to go back to fucking Roman days. And only this time we'll throw libs to the Lions. But the last guy that kicked off there, he was too political, in my opinion. So that's about it. Did Anthony Comey show last night on ABC terrestrial radio, folks. People, we put it out there that I was going to do the show on the internet, and people are going, are you kidding? First of all, they're like, how does anybody hire, if you go look at his X page and his whatever, all those, the racial shit is through the, first thing I said was, I want to give a thumbs up to whoever at ABC had the balls big enough to hire Anthony Comey. And he's so funny. We have that same chemistry. People love it when we get together. But it was funny watching. People must have been laughing listening to me and him. It was a call-in to a radio show, trying to walk that tightrope. I dropped one F-bomb they had to dump, which wasn't bad. I talked to him for about 35 minutes, I think. Anyways, I brought that up because I'm doing Cohoes Music Hall this Friday night in Cohoes, New York. That's upstate near Albany. I hope to see you guys there. It's a great place, and I have to connect flights. I don't do that for everybody. Wife send me through Dallas, D.C. She's hoping they're practicing chopper training. Anyways, let's get to it. Sam says it's a sham. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Dallas wasn't going to let, and I didn't know if we were doing it at the end or not. Look what Dallas and Gianna found in Forsyth Park behind a. Look what they found, a little black kid. No. Look at that. That's Dimitri. What did Dimitri weigh?
7.4 pounds.
7.4. That means Gianna was happy. I see these ladies that have a 13.6, and they're in a wheelchair till they're 30. And that's Dallas. He's pretending to look at the camera. Meanwhile, there's a fucking, you know what game on. Braves. Look at that. Look, that's a pretty baby. Because, usually you're like, that's delicious. And that's my favorite shot. I don't know why. I think it's the bunny. Look at that beautiful mom. And I can't make jokes. I could do 8 minutes right now. I'm just saying it's a drive-through window. One of them's open. I'm just saying that's a beautiful. Gianna. I mean, she just had a kid. Anyway, that's what he did. What was I doing? I was eating ham and watching fucking hockey, and learning the first 3 chords to fucking Highway to Hell.
She also did it no meds, all natural.
Oh, big deal. Fucking. My mother watches TV and shit, and they always have, if you notice, when you watch TV, and it's been like this for 30 years, when woman's having a baby, they're screaming, and it's always and I'm not saying it's painless, because some of them get that epidural. I understand all that, but, I've been constipated many times and not screamed. I passed out, and then I had 2 little brown kids. All right, let's get on with it. Sam says it's a sham. Well, what the hell's that all about? I don't know. I fucking made it the headline 3 days ago.
Hear ye! Hear ye! The court's in session. The court's in session now. Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
I'm talking about Sam Alito, conservative Supreme Court. I'm blowing myself out here. Justice Samuel Alito used a scathing weekend dissent to criticize his colleagues for a temporary order issued hours earlier that halted President Trump from deporting a group of Venezuelans under the Alien Enemies Act. And I looked it up. I didn't write down the definition, but he's clearly not out of line with this. Literally in the middle of the night, this is Alito talking and being pissed at the people, Literally, the other justices, literally in the middle of the night, he says the court issued unprecedented and legally questionable relief without giving the lower courts a chance to rule, without hearing from the opposing party. Hey, here's a new rule. You can't do shit after 6 p.m., whether it's passing bills or whatever. How about that? A chance to rule without hearing from the opposing party within 8 hours of receiving the application, with dubious factual support for its order, and without providing any explanation for its order. What, did they change the rules when Trump's in office? Alito wrote in a dissent that was joined by Clarence Thomas. Alito and Thomas made note of their dissent initially with a single line in the early Saturday morning order from the High Court, which temporarily blocked Trump's administration from moving ahead with its controversial. Read into the liberal shit. And this is like from the New York Post, which to me, it's as getting bad as any. I can see it happening, like the werewolf in London changing right before. Moving ahead with its Who said it's controversial? Keep your fucking opinion out of it. Use of the sweeping 1798 wartime law to remove the Venezuelans who are detained in Texas. The president has a right. I read the whole thing. It was like 3 times. I'm like, oh, he's totally in his right to do that. I see lawyers on TV saying it, but no. In his full opinion, Alito wrote that the High Court had acted hastily, meaning the Supreme Court. They were trying to block Trump administration from doing this, prematurely to grant unprecedented emergency relief to, and he's calling them migrants. They're not migrants, Sam. Get it right.
Yes, sir.
In asking the High Court for emergency intervention, immigrant rights groups had said they were concerned the Venezuelans were in danger of being removed imminently. Yeah. Are they here illegally? It's really cut and dry. Trump's attempting to use the act to speed deportations and bypass the usual review process. So you're telling me, you motherfuckers, under Biden, we let in, nobody knows, 10, 15, 5, 8 million, no vetting whatsoever. But we're supposed to vet on the way out. They're supposed to, 500,000 people are supposed to get a court hearing. I don't understand how this, I'm sure, I don't know if this is going to bounce back, and I think they get another shot at it. The Supreme Court is now expected to issue a more formal order in the coming days about whether to allow the administration to proceed. Folks, look up the definition of the Alien Act from whatever. And you tell me yourself. You don't even have to be a scholar to fucking understand it. You're never going to see, and this is good, you're never going to see the Dems in power again until they agree to move to the center a little bit. They're so far left. If they move to the center, they'd still be too far left. What the fuck are you guys thinking? You're defending doctors who mutilate kids, defending rapists and murderers and people in the country illegally, and you're wondering why you got smoked in the fucking elections. And I'm not even thinking of all the shit. Not to mention Russiagate, all that. Why would we ever take your word for anything anymore? And this is a nice dovetail into this story because it shows how insane they are. You know, Chris Van Hollen, this lib's been around. He's always face pops up over the years. Just a fucking wingnut. And I think what he's trying to do here is grandstand because they're looking for somebody to run the Democrat Party and be a leader. And this is what you do when you're in politics. You go, look at me. I'm going to take charge here, but they have nowhere to go. Trump has exposed these motherfuckers. Van Hollen makes ass of himself. Senator Chris Van Hollen, Maryland, by the way, I believe, on Sunday repeatedly sidestepped questions about whether Kilma Abrego Garcia, guilty. Why, his name? Yeah, no. Was an MS-13 gangbanger. I think you could find that out real quick, couldn't you? Yes. I mean, they're kicking it around all weekend like it's a mystery, as the Trump administration has alleged. Anyways.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, you do, Chris. You do. Van Hollen, Democrat, Maryland. Hey, thanks for clearing that up. Who met with Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. He flew over there on Thursday. Notably refused to deny that Abrego Garcia was a gang member and confessed he did not ask him about the alleged ties when they spoke. This is him in El Salvador having lemonade with a guy that used to beat his wife. We know he was in the country illegally. That's all you need to know about it. And I'm starting to get the impression that people are thinking that Trump's only going to go after people who are gangbang. He said he'd go after them first. But he's also said, if you're here illegally, I don't give a shit. Let's not forget that. I don't have to remind you people, fans of mine, but I'm already getting the feeling the media keeps pounding it like, you know, oh, this guy, you know, he works hard, he's got kids. Go fuck yourself. Despite CNN's Dana Bash asking him point blank if he could say with absolute certainty that the deported illegal immigrant wasn't a member of the vicious gang. And this is how he answers this. He just sidesteps it completely. And this is what he says when she asks him that.
They are trying to litigate on social media what they should be doing in the courts. They need to put up or shut up in the courts. Let me tell you, and I decided to write this down so I could be absolutely accurate as to what Federal District Court Judge Zanies said about these allegations by the Trump administration. Quote, no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any terrorist activity. has been presented to the court. That's where to litigate this. It's been litigated in many other places. So I'm not going to get into the details because the whole purpose of our court system is for them to adjudicate these things, not for Donald Trump to go off on social media.
You're right.
I know, fucking robot. You're right. Hey. It doesn't matter whether he's a gangbanger or not. And the public knows that. What you shitheads forget, you Democrats, what you forget is Americans want the same thing Trump wants and vice versa. You understand? They're for America first. And when you do this, like I said, he has to be grandstanding. He just wants the attention. But it makes him look like an asshole because he's defending a violent guy who was in the country fucking illegally. Bottom line. Ay, ay, ay. And he doesn't bring it up when he flies over to El Salvador while he's talking to the kid. He doesn't go, hey, by the way, what's that tattoo of a fucking knife on your throat? You dink. Hollen then shifted the discussion from MS-13 by ironically accusing Trump of repeatedly trying to change the subject on due process concerns. Do they have the same rights when they're illegally here? I'm seriously. If they do, change that, will you? Ted Cruz, somebody get on it. Abrego Garcia, 29, who illegally entered the U.S. in 2011, that's 14 fucking years ago. But he pays taxes, was deported to his home country of El Salvador last month despite a 2019 court order, that was 6 years ago, blocking his deportation there due to concerns that he could face gang violence. That's not our problem. Not our Why would he face gang violence if he's not a gang member? Number one. That would be my first question. Why? Does he have a problem with the MS-13 guy? And why is that? The deportation came under unique circumstances via Trump's use of wartime powers in the 1798 Aliens Enemies Act. And you don't have to be at war. Read it. I can't remember it. Just fucking read it. It's a paragraph that explains it clearly. I don't know how Trump would ever lose this one. I got to be honest. Unless Kendi Jackson, who doesn't know what a woman is, has her input in Breyer and Sotomayor and Kagan. I know all the lib jerk-offs. I didn't say Jews, jerk-offs. Sounds like me on Comia last night. I didn't say that. Hey, boys and girls, I just told you this earlier, aforementioned, Cohoes Music Hall this Friday night. I'm actually looking forward to it because I like these people. They come out to see me, and it's a nice, beautiful old joint. Also, May 15th and 16th, which is not that far from April 25th, now that I look at it. I'll be at Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois. May 15th, one show. May 16th, one show. Already sold out, and same with Cohoes. We're sold out all the VIP up front seats, and Cohoes almost full already, is what I was told. Okay? 37 years, still relevant. Kiss my balls. Am I making the money that Mark Norman is? No. But I'm fine with that. Those guys, I keep forgetting, are 20 years younger than me, and they should be making the money. And the system changed, the internet and all that shit, and they have very good comics and good, whatever. Anybody else, go fuck yourself. What? Hey, if you guys want to support the show, buy some shit, will you? We just put out the Nick DiPaolo IUD. Tremendous. And we got maxi pads for really giant broads.
Any pacifiers?
Well, you know what? Now we got a kid. I tried that. They looked into me. They go, what are you doing with kids? So what's the matter with you? What do you got? You got nipple clamps? Anyways, buy something. Support the show at nickdip.com. And my wife busted her balls putting that up and doing the whole thing. You guys can watch full episodes of my show and Louder with Crowder and all exclusive Rumble Premium content. You can watch that ad-free with just one subscription. Seriously, out of all the things out there, you're going to get the most for your money. So join Rumble Premium by clicking the link in the description. I believe it's below. I don't know. That's what the kids say.
Hi, good night, everybody.